So this is the Conk property in Darien. We are going to be putting together a proposal for the masonry, which is on a separate video, but this is for, we're going to be redoing this front foundation. The length of this whole path here is about 23 feet up against that wall. It might be more like 22 or so because I went past it. So actually, let's say that's 20 feet where those boxwoods are here. This stretch along here, this bed, is 30 feet. Just as a note, they're planning on probably building a porch here. So anything we put, we don't want to get too overly involved because in a couple of years it's going to be transplanted and removed. This length here is 25 feet from there across to the corner of the house here. This is actually, where is it? This is the west side of the house, and so it gets a fair amount of afternoon sun. So the idea would be to put a mass of hydrangeas here, potentially with a lower cover of perhaps some lower growing boxwoods or hollies. She's very much looking for depth and interest, almost a perennial garden in this area, and the full afternoon sun, I think, would serve that very well. As a note, they are going to be putting a fence into this yard that will come off the corner of the house and come up and then go essentially between these two trees here. So I would suggest that this planting bed would be enlarged to meet the fence, and then the fence would continue along, and then on this side of the fence we could then put in some screening, because they would like some screening from this house while they sit on their back patio here. So these can all come out, perhaps establish lawn up to the wall here, or some lower growing perennials that would just which would soften the wall just a little, but have the primary planting bed be along this fence line that doesn't exist yet, but will. And just as a note, this tree is 31 feet off the corner of the house. So from down there to this point, it's 31 feet. And as you can see, it's just north by about 2 feet off the house. So now we move on to the rear. These hollies can come out. This bed could be minimized, I think. The goal here is to reduce the size of this so they can actually see out of the window. It would also be nice if they were able to see the back corner. They do have children, so nothing too large in this particular area. So the length of this full bed from here to the corner of the house there is 24 feet 7. We could redefine this bed line, certainly. And then we come to this back corner. It's very shady. We have a lot of trees back here. I don't believe any grass is going to grow. So I would recommend putting in a planting bed that would start on this side of the tree. That euonymus, I think, can come out. And just have like a gentle planting bed that sort of meets somewhere here. The rough parameters say that's about 25 feet from that fence there. And then the length down, I'd say maybe about 30 feet down, would put you somewhere between those trees and create a small planting bed in that area, because grass will not grow there. This area, they are actually going to put an extension here, so we're not touching any of the woody material back here, but we could certainly use something of interest just to come back here. This is a very shady spot though, and I'd say it's about it's under 20 feet from here all the way to this corner here. This back area is still to be determined. So there are changes that could be made, but we're not going to make them yet because they have not decided quite how they're going to use this area. But there are some empty vacant bed spots that we could fill in with some seasonal perennials. So this is what? It's a triangle. It's about 10 by 10 by 10 as a triangle. And this is about 20 feet long by, say, 10 feet at its widest point for this bed. There is existing plant material in here. Not sure what. They did mention mint, which we would have to remove before planting. And that is it. The one thing I will just say, because I know the owners are going to see this video, is just to address this big tree here, that were it to topple, it would topple here. So I said that they should get an arborist in just to check on the health of some of these trees lining the property. And that is it. Thank you so much. Have a good day.